All right, guys, the moment you all been waiting for. This is 2 weeks worth of growth in this NFT track system, and you can see, you know, I have adjusted the water flow a little, and you can see that's almost a pint a minute, maybe just a little less. And I got the valve opened up even more because I added this to it, but I still got the bypass going back into the tank. I still got it about halfway open. But yeah, I'm really happy with the amount of growth we got going on. Look, we got kohlrabi that's actually trying to bulb already. These have been in here actually 2 weeks today. We transplanted them on November the 3rd. Sunday, November the 3rd, they were put into trays. Today is Sunday, November the 17th. And we're still running, well, I say we're still running. We're running the same EC and we're running the same pH. EC is running about 1800. The pH is running about 6.2, 6.5. And I have since switched from the Crop King Leafy Green concentrate mix to the Master Blend mix. And it's just about the same ratio for the concentrate mix. It's about the same ratio. And I haven't seen anything negative. I switched over first part of last week. And these guys have been feeding on that ever since, and I haven't seen anything negative. Matter of fact, these were transplanted out Thursday or Friday of last week, and you can see they've already started standing back up. So something going on right. I mean, we got something right with that system. But I'm fixing to quit yapping and get on here and get busy putting these posts in the ground. I got one hole dug, started on the other one. I still got 3 more to go. We are going to have this rack here built today. And hopefully we can get these tracks put in, and that will put us to a 50 tray NFT system right now. And I've got room to expand to another 50 trays. So all in all, right now, looking at total, this greenhouse is probably going to support a 200 tray system, both sides, this side and the other side, once we get that one put in. And we're going to do a comparison because I can do nothing but greens on this side and do, you know, like root crops on this side, greens, mixture of a bunch of different things on this side. But right now it's looking like it's going to be a 200 tray system. And I'll have this side done before the end of the year. Like I said, this is late November. So I only got about another month, but I'll finish this side up, and I'm hoping everything goes as planned and we can kind of get the customer base to keep this greenhouse harvested, because 200 trays, I'm going to have to apply like 10 trays per variety of lettuce, 10 trays per variety of kohlrabi, 10 trays of Swiss chard, 10 trays of bok choy, you know, and you can see how it would add up really quick. But that will give me, you know, 2 trays a week for market and still leave me with, you know, 8 more trays to kind of keep me prepared for the markets that's coming up. And plus, we're going to ramp up sales from here at the house. We're going to ramp up restaurant sales. Everything's going to kind of increase a little bit. We actually put some feelers out at different places to kind of get some more avenues, because as these trays start going towards the end, we're going to have a lot of greens on hand to get rid of. So I got to get busy, because Betsy just called me and told me we got a customer that's wanting me to get her 2 bags of each of this today, and let her decide which one that she wants to use, you know, at her restaurant or at her place. So I'll need to know what else to plant more of, you know, what to keep on hand, because what I don't want to do is get the customers and then not have the lettuce to sell them. That's what I don't want to do. All right, so I'm gonna get off here. I got to go to Lowe's and get some lumber, but I'm gonna update you as today, you know, through the day as I'm working on this, and kind of give you a shot of everything and as it's going on. And hopefully, you know, before this afternoon, before it gets dark, I can be putting these trays in and kind of bringing this other side of the system online. I want to get this spinach in these trays today or tomorrow. All right, guys, just got back from town. You can see, got a load of supplies. It should get me to the finish line. I'm gonna get the post in here and go ahead and get those guys put in the ground, get the cement started, and then go ahead and get it started on the bracing. And hopefully we'll be working on plumbing here in a couple of hours. So I'm gonna set this camera up and get these poles in here. I still got 1 hole left to dig, but I want to get these outside posts in the ground first, so I can square it up and make sure I get it in the right place. All right, guys, so we got all the poles, well, all but one. I still got to dig that hole there, but I want to get these 2 poles right here together and make sure everything's good and square before I dig that hole. Kind of give you an idea what's got to happen here. You know, you can see the bracing for the first set, and what I've done is got a string in line with those poles to make sure that the next set of poles stay in line with that. So all the bracing works together. So what I've got to do is basically make sure it's level this way. I got to make sure it's level this way. I got to make sure it's right against the string, and then I got to make sure it's square with that string, just like this, barely touching it. So when I put the braces on, it's in line there, and then I got to make sure that my measurement is 8 feet to the center of that pole. That way my lumber works out, the measurements stay the same, so on and so forth. So this is the first one. It's pretty much done. I got 60 pounds of Sackcrete that I'm gonna put on this pole, maybe a little bit left over, but usually 5 bags is enough to do 5 poles, and if not, I got plenty of other places I can put it. So let me go ahead and get this first one in the ground, get it situated, get it level. Then I'm gonna work on the back one, do the same thing there, and then move on to the next 2. And once we get those in the ground, get everything situated there, get everything stationary, then we'll start putting the braces up. I've got to take some of the plumbing loose from this side. I got to break this off so I can trim this to put the other 2 before in here. That's going to run around and connect to this one, and then that one's going to connect to that one. So it's a pretty good bit of work to do. I had to open all the sides up, man. It is hot in here. 70 degrees. It feels like 100 degrees in here. Yeah, I'm gonna put this camera down and I'm gonna get this first pole in the ground, and I'll move on to that back one. Guys, it's hot in here. Whew. All right, so we chipping away at this thing. I got the framework done. I still got to cut the tops of the post off. But you can see everything's leveled out. I got to cut these off here, but we can go ahead and get started on the plumbing while the concrete is still drying. Shouldn't take it too long, dude. Like I said, it's pushing 70 degrees, man. It feels like it's 100 degrees in here, but I'm gonna go ahead and get started on the plumbing part of it. I got to cut the water off just for, you know, a split second, because I got to put a valve in down here along the bottom. Back there where that 90 is, I'm going to come off of that with a T in the front side of that post, and I'm going to put a valve right there so I can cut the water off to their entire system, or both systems if I have to be able to do work down there. I'm going to go ahead and cut that, put a 90 in it, put a valve in there, and then I'm going to turn the water back on, and that way I can work on it this afternoon and get at least half of these trays put in. Like I said, that water line is going to come down, then it's going to come in front of here, and basically it's going to be a mirror image of that one, and then I'll have a riser run across here to run this 30 trays. Hopefully, if it works out that way. I don't see why not. I've got 15 over there ready. I got 4 more I'm waiting on parts for, but I can get those 15 in, and that should be enough to cover at least half of this. So that's what we're gonna focus on today, and then get the dirt put back in the holes, get everything cleaned up, and hopefully get some transplants put in these trays today. All right, guys, moving right along. Got the valve in, got the water back on. It's off right now, so got these two sticks of pipe. I'm gonna run down to the center post down here, and then 90 back to this one. So I'm gonna go ahead and get all the work I need to get done up under here. That way I can work on the outside right here, and we can get the water turned on to this second rail and start putting some trays in here in just a little bit. All right, guys, we're getting closer, Got all the plumbing done. Got the valve on under here. Line comes up, comes over here. Got the valve closed here. I've already purged it, let all the dirt and all that crap out of it. So I'm getting ready to run a manifold. Then we can start drilling and putting our spaghetti tubes in for our trays. Now, like I said, I can put trays up to probably midway, and I've got to get that other piece of gutter in the back so we have something to catch it in. But yeah, I got a feeling we're gonna get some transplants in tonight. So let me get the manifold put in, get the spaghetti tube run for at least half of it. For what trays I got, I don't want to run the rest of them because I won't have no way to cut the water off. But and then we'll see where we end up. We may go ahead and put that gutter in and go ahead and get some transplant. Go ahead and get some spinach transplanted anyway. All right, guys, pretty much done. Got everything situated, got the plumbing in, got the spots marked for where the ferrules are going to go, and I got them in here and got a bag full, and got the spaghetti tubes, got the trays laid up here. And what I'm going to wind up doing is going back down here and re-drilling these holes. These big spaghetti tubes like this right here, you have to really force them down in there, and I really don't like doing that. But I got the gutter in the back, and I've got this end jacked up pretty high right now to keep the water from coming this way. And when we get this other stand in here, I don't know, I may switch over to a different style drain. I may go to a piece of 6-inch pipe. I don't know. I'm really not liking this gutter because you can see how wavy it is, and the water can get in behind it and can drip on the ground, and there's all kinds of stuff I don't like about it. But I may wind up going to a 6-inch PVC pipe, I don't know. But I'm gonna get it running for now. And looks like we might get some spinach transplanted tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys drilled since I got the valve off. Get these guys drilled, get the tubes put in, get some water run in them, and then we'll see how much time we're working with, and we'll see if we can get some plants put in them tonight. All right, looks like we're gonna make it just in the nick of time. I got these trays in. Struggled a little bit with these ferrules. You can see where I had some leaks down here, so I had to replace that pipe and put another one in. I'm telling you guys, if you don't drill that thing just right, it will leak, and it'll cause your life just all kinds of problems. So what we want to do now is we want to take these lines. You can see we got water running through all of them, and we're going to take that pipe, put it in this one. We're going to dump the water out of it, then we're going to pull it out. I'm going to try to do this one-handed. We're going to pull this tray out, and we're going to set it over here, and we're going to get a couple lids out of this box here. And this is the red tabby spinach that we're going to transplant. I'm going to try to get at least 10 trays done tonight, and then hopefully my other ends, my end caps, will come in the mail tomorrow, and I can get the other trays done, and that'll give me 10 trays of green spinach. So I have 20 trays of spinach going into this thing, and that should be a gracious plenty. That's 12 plants per tray. That's 120 spinach plants of each variety, so that's 240 spinach plants. That ought to be a gracious plenty. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get a couple of these lids and get started on this. And it's getting dark, but I got lights in here, so it may be after a while before I get these trays in. But once I get everything said and done and get this variety finished, get 10 of these in, I'll give you guys a shot of what we have, and then we'll wrap this video up. But this is what the trays look like. They got 1x1 holes punched in them, and they clamp down, and I can't do it one-handed. So I'm gonna put this thing down, and I'm gonna get started transplanting these things, and I'll give you guys a shot of it once I get finished. All right, guys, so we managed to finish up before it got dark, and we got 10 trays of red tabby spinach put in. Got no leaks on this reel. Got no leaks in the back so far, and it's been a long day. I got 6 trays here, and I got 4 over here that we are going to use for green spinach, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the lids on these tonight to keep algae from, you know, kind of getting started. And if the end caps come in sometime this week, I'm gonna go ahead and get that green spinach put in here, and that should set us, you know, pretty good for spinach for a while. And there's a little bit of a trick to get that spinach seed to germinate, and I'll share that with you next time I get ready to start some of those seeds in the Oasis trays. It's a little tricky, but I mean, you can see it works. And the 276 cell Oasis tray that I started, I got this much out of it. That is actually 120 plants, and there was a lot more that I probably could have used, but you can see that's what I culled out of that. I used the best of what I could find out of there. But yeah, if I'd had another 10 trays to do in red spinach, I probably could have used every one of them, but some of them would have been smaller. All right, guys, so I'm gonna get off here and clean up this mess. But if you missed the video when we got ready to start all this stuff when we transplant it, I'm gonna put a link to it up here. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, reach over here in this right hand corner and click that subscribe button. And as always, guys, we appreciate you stopping by. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.